Looking for something new in sci-fi or fantasy? Check out what Brandon Sanderson, Orson Scott Card, Nnedi Okorafor, and others chose as the best news stories of the year in the L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future anthology from 24 award-winning authors and illustrators, plus art and writing tips and bonus stories. L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future. Buy your copy at galaxypress.com, Amazon, or wherever books are sold.
Good evening, everyone. Get out there and buy some books so Maliva will stop bugging me. Oh, wait, how did that get up? That's just too bright. That is, we got to get rid of that. I can't. That's just too much for my eyesight. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Joe Montaldo Show. You know, we're doing a lot of different shows these days. We got a new show that's going to be replacing this one. It's only for authors and illustrators. We do a lot with Writers of the Future, but then we have a lot of our own. We have several authors on the network themselves, and then a lot of them themselves are doing authors or illustrators. And so we just want to give them a home where they can get the proper attention they need and not be shuffled around between the UFO shows and the news shows and stuff like that. Because it's hard sometimes when we have a guest on the news show and people start sending us in news, because we're talking to the guest, but we're also reading the news at the same time. And every now and then something comes by and you're like, oh man, I got to say something about this. You know, it's just one of those things. But tonight we have the lovely and talented Miss Jody Lynn Nye on. She is fabulous, by the way. I have watched her deal with people now for 4 seasons. I don't know how she does it. She just puts them in their place. I shouldn't say it like that. I want to start no trouble or anything, but she really handles the winners really well. And there's so much more about this woman that we're going to get into as we get into the show. But her bio is up, posted on all of our websites, so you can check them out there as well. If you want to meet her in person, all I can tell you is submit and win. You have to win. Yes. No, she's an author. She would be working with the authors. Actually, her and Tim usually do the class, at least the 2 classes I've sat through, or the 3 classes I've sat through. And all I can say is it's Tim Powers. I'm sorry, I didn't say his last name. I apologize. There's something else. And Tim goes off this way, and Joey's kind of like, all right, you're coming back over here. Come on back this way now. And there's such a wealth of information. I got to say, before I let you get on mic, I got to say, because of you, there's a couple of y'all that I've really learned a lot. Because, you know, I've been being hounded for 30 plus years to write a book because of all the research we do. And I'm like, I'm just, so I have learned a lot from y'all. I mean, a lot, enough to get 44,000 words down now. Now, granted, I'm sure it needs to be seriously edited and seriously spell checked, but still, I didn't understand things like fillers, how to, I could get like the base of a story down, but I didn't know how to take it to the next level or next place or the next adventure. I learned all of that from y'all. And the reason I'm bringing this up, ladies and gentlemen, if you can win and get there, you may think you're a great author. When you leave this place, you will actually be a really good author. I'm not going to say great, but really, really good. And I'm expecting to see some really good sci-fi out of y'all, some good fantasy up in the near future. I have met a lot of these writers, and I got to say, there's a lot of talent there. I'm really looking for good things to come out. I keep in touch with as many as I can because I've met, 50 of them now. So that's a lot, plus the judges. But anyway, welcome, Jody. How are you tonight?
Thank you. I'm doing fine. Thanks. Good to see you.
It's good to see you because you're one of my favorites out there. I'm telling y'all guys, she just, you're meeting these people. So there's 12 people coming in from, they get to meet the illustrators too, but there's 12 people coming in from God knows where, all around the country, all around the world for that matter these days. I know since I've been with them, they get a lot of international people. So they're coming in. So they have to meld with these personalities. They have to know how to deal with them. And they have to know how to deal with, excuse me. I have not seen one judge. Personally, I would have probably got snappy with some of these people. I have not seen one judge even get cross, which is freaking amazes me. I'm not even going to lie. Because, I do a lot of lecturing myself. And I get, a lot of times, I get asked the same question like 5,000 times. And after a while, I'm kind of like, why don't you listen to one of my archives? Because I don't want to talk about it anymore. I'm like, and I don't want to be mean. I just, why don't you go? Because really, I've literally got these days close to 10,000 hours or 15,000 hours of archives on my own. So, I mean, guys, y'all can go listen. I'm sorry, 15,000 archives. It's about 33,000 hours. So y'all can go listen to your heart's content. And the station itself currently is carrying 140,000 archives, and ranging from 1 hour to 3 hours. So God knows it's got to be close to 300,000 hours, because we cheat. We do more than, say, it's 168 hours a week, 169. We cheat. We have shows that overlap, and we have shows that are being produced during the week. So we produce anywhere from 200 to 300 hours a week, even though and then sometimes, like tonight, you have a choice between, actually tonight you have three choices. You have what is playing on the network's home station. You have Jody and I, and then you have right now the foot under the bed is on. So you got multiple choices on the network. I know. Of course, we're the one to pick. I'm just telling you ahead of time. Them other people are nice and all, but they ain't got nothing on us. And if you want to learn anything, you definitely want to be here. Shh, don't get me in trouble. Y'all people always want to try to get me in trouble. I will sick Bob on you. Don't mess with me, people. He's so I know you did a lot of stuff with Anne McCaffrey, and I want to talk about that in a little bit. But what was the single thing? I hate to say single thing because it might not have been, but what was it that you, when you were young, you said, when you were a baby, a pup, you said, you know, I want to be an author, or I think I can write. Because, man, I do not think I can write. So, I'm really curious. I asked every author this because I'm curious to what it is. Was it because you were at home? Was it TV? Was it just, what was it that set you down this journey that seems like a fabulous journey for you?
I just started telling stories. I had three little brothers, and I told them stories. I told my cousins stories. When I went away to sleepaway camp, I would tell the other campers stories after lights out. We didn't have televisions or radio or anything else,
I
so
remember those days.
kind of me. And I didn't say, I'm going to be an author. I just started telling stories because I had these ideas. And I made books out of my father's office paper, which I fervently hope do not exist anymore because I shudder to think what, don't remember the contents exactly. So probably just as well that they're lost to the annals of time.
They might be worth some money these days, girl. You know how weird people are these days.
The funny thing is that when I was little, I did not connect actual people to having written books. Books just existed. I never thought, well, the Laura Lee Hope, who wrote the Bobbsey Twins books, was an actual person. I don't know. It never occurred to me. Louisa May Alcott, all of the people that I was reading, Mark Twain. But then I learned that Mark Twain was in fact a real person, and Louisa May Alcott was in fact a real person. Still, it took a little while before I was connecting the idea with maybe I could do this. And I told stories. My best friend always said that she could reach in the back seat of my car and pick up something that she could read because I would write. Strangely enough, I was writing on graph paper. Don't ask me why. And when I filled a notebook, I tossed it in the back seat of my Volkswagen, and she would reach for it and start going through it and say, "Hey, I like this. Is there any more of it?" Well, I'm working on something else right now.
Hey, well, any kind of paper is a good thing. I know when I was a kid, I'd go in my dad's office, and he had those legal, the legal paper, the long
Right.
ones, and I was constantly drawing battles on it and just
Mhm.
wasted it. I'm surprised he just didn't whoop me in the next year, to be honest. But it was the paper at hand at the time.
Yeah, it was what was there. Sure.
It was, sorry, but I was sending somebody a link. They wanted to come see
Oh,
us,
I
and
also, I also liked reporter notebooks, the long, skinny ones. Those were nice to sort of tuck in the flap of my purse.
yeah, there's a friend of mine tried to teach me shorthand on one of those. I'm like, why are you doing this? I don't want to learn shorthand. He said, you need to know shorthand because you like to shorthand all the time. I said, no, I like to do JoJo's, which is different than shorthand. So all my friends, especially even John's, had to learn it now because my brain work. Unfortunately for me, my brain works much faster than my fingers do, and so I will leave out sections. Like two words. Sometimes I've been known to leave out a whole paragraph from time to time, but I'm bad about it. So over the years, anybody who knows me actually just knows. They just fill in the blanks now. They're like, and if there's not something they don't understand, they're right back. What was that? But hey, I mean, it's one of those things because and I'm actually a pretty damn good typist. It's just my brain, for some reason, I'll be going along. That's why when I started writing this story, I made myself go back like every 10 or 15 lines. I'd go back and read through them and go back and read through them. Now it's not as bad. I noticed it's got a lot better, but I was leaving stuff out because it's in my head. I'm thinking it's on the paper. Well, no, it wasn't actually on the paper. It was still in my head. Oh, I don't know. What's that, Carly? Who's her favorite author? I would hope it'd be her, but she's been around some pretty serious authors. So, who is your favorite? I think I know, but I'm not
I
going to
have
say.
several.
Yeah,
Of course,
see,
yes, I love Anne, of course, Anne
yes,
McCaffrey,
that's fine.
Terry Pratchett, one of the absolute greats of our time, Mark Twain, Rex Stout, who wrote the Nero Wolfe books. I loved his style. I loved his characters. I love the way his narration works, and so many others that I've discovered over the years that it's hard to say where a single favorite is. Dorothy
I
L.
could,
Sayers.
I could understand that. I mean, it was weird. Oh, you brought up Mark Twain. It was weird when I was a kid. I
Mhm.
remember reading one story, and I didn't know who it was. I had no idea. I mean, I was probably 9 or 10 at the time, maybe 12. And I read it, and I was like, oh, it's pretty good. But then I just went on with life. And then I remember I was in private schools, and I think we had to do a book report a week. So we'd either read a book or listen to. They'd either have an audio clip to listen in a class, or we'd read. Everybody take a book home, or sometimes everybody would take a turn reading the book in the class, which was okay for some of us, but it took me a little while to get my reading skills under control. But it was really interesting. And then all of a sudden, we were doing this. So I was like, damn, I remember this, which helped me out on the prayer. And then I remember she told me who it was. So then I actually went looking for the works, because I was thinking, well, it can't just be one work. I mean, this guy was pretty damn famous. There's got to be more than one. So, but I want to say I was 16 then, by the time I really understood who he was. And my problem is a lot of times, yeah, like you're naming off artists. So somebody will send me a book or send me an audio. Right now I'm listening to Mission Earth for John, but they'll send me something like that and I'll listen to it and it's great. But if they don't tell me who it is, a lot of times it slips from my head. So I'll remember the story.
Mhm.
I'll even remember the title sometimes, but for some reason it's the authors. I guess it's just because I'm bad with names in general. I'll remember a face. I see a face. I'll remember till the day I die. You give me somebody's name, I have to see it. I don't know, 50 times, 100 times. So yours was easy, but I also seen yours quite a lot when we're out in LA.
Mhm.
But for some people, they'll tell me their name. They're like, Joe, I just told you my name the other day. I'm sorry. I just didn't stick. They said, well, you don't think we're important. I said, no, it's not that. I said, my brain for some reason just doesn't do names.
You might be
Uh,
just be a visual learner that you retain things you see.
it's probably true too. I remember a teacher telling me one that because, and I do like to watch a lot of stuff. What's that, Carly? No, you have to win. I'm sorry, you can't be invited. Well, you can be, but you can't be. What I mean by that is you got to be somebody. How's that? I have nothing to do with any of that. No. You
Mhm.
mean if you want to be invited to the gala and you're not a winner and you're not a judge and you're not one of the family members, then yes, you have to be, somebody. Usually it's movie stars or something like that. But who me? I'm there for press now. I'm there. I'm friendly press. That's what I'm there for. Yes.
Oh, we had a Space Force general too.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I think we actually had two, didn't we? They had a 2 and a 3. Wait, maybe I'm getting confused with something else. But anyway, yeah, because I remember John and Emily telling me they were space cadets. Y'all know that was really hard for me not to make jokes about that, right? I'm just saying.
He was a really nice man, though. He's
Yes, he
trying to
was.
do a good job.
Yeah, we talked for John introduced me to him at the gala actually, and we
Hmm.
talked for a little while, and then we talked after, and I caught him Saturday, and we talked for a while, and he had an interest in one of the other subjects that I have an interest in, and so he was we talked about it for a while. He was just fishing. That's all he was doing, hoping he might find something. I was doing the same things. Not gonna hate. No, they've had some really good. And what we had Dan Farr last year from Fan X, and what's his name? What's the the guy who does the voices? Why can't I ever remember his name?
Investigative.
Yeah, he does. Matter of fact, the one I'm listening to right now, Missioners, that he's the protagonist in it, Salt and Grease. That's who's doing it. He does a really good job with this guy.
He's
Is
very
just
good.
yes, he makes this guy cheesy and this guy is just too. I don't even. Y'all gonna have to wait till you can either get the book or read it, or wait till it comes out in audio or in a movie. But I mean, this guy is beyond cheesy. Is all I can tell y'all. It's a fun story now that it's been moving. It started a little slow, but now we're in book 4. It's a fun story. Yeah. No, it's all in audio, but you can't get the audio yet. Yeah, sorry. John just hooked me up with it so I could listen to it. He's just looking for feedback. Yeah. No, it's a fun story. Yeah, it's fun. Well, Jody's busy woman, man. They keep her hopping all the time. Oh, you want to know she's? Oh, wait. Oh, hold on. One question at a time. Damn. All right, stop. So what do you want to know first? Has you released any books lately? And what is your favorite story of your work? Sorry, I couldn't get that out for some reason. I was
Oh,
getting tongue tied.
I love all my children equally.
I love that. That was good. I like that answer. Well, that's good, guys. You see,
I have a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun writing. If you say, "Hey, what about this one?" I'll say, "Oh yeah," and here's the details of why I love this. But then we can go on to the next one, and I'll say the same thing about that with a different explanation. I wouldn't write it if I didn't like it. So,
well, that's a good way of saying it. It's
mhm.
because I want to talk to a lot of people write for different reasons, but I was just talking to somebody just recently. They were telling me they write to eliminate stress. I said, well, that's interesting. I said, I would think it might stress you, but I guess in their case it doesn't. Me, Clara, no, I can't. I'm playing around with this book, and in maybe 2 years, it might actually be something. No, I can't submit it to Writers of the Future. It's too big. 17,000 words. Yeah, that's it, guys.
That's a big piece of real estate, 17,000 words, and people have sent me a lot of things that were that long. Some of them have won.
Well, I would, that's got to slow judges down because that's a lot more reading than
It,
7,000 words or 9,000 words. Well, we taught, Mark, so you can go. A lot of the winners I've already interviewed, the ones I have, and John Goodwin has on Writers of the Future podcast. So you can go listen and hear the different lengths of books, the different ways they came about them, like the 24-hour story, which we'll talk about in a little while, the way people come about these. And what's interesting about the one I just mentioned, some of those have actually got sold. So that's strange in itself. But we're going to get there, guys. One little thing at a time. We only got Jody for hours, so one little thing at a time. No. What do you mean favorite male author? Now you're getting all discriminatory and stuff. I mean, what do you mean favorite male author? I have no idea. You got a favorite male author? She likes him. She just likes authors.
I
Y'all
like
can't.
authors.
Yes, y'all can't be asking questions like that. Find a better question than that. Uh, I don't care. Oh, Jesus. I'm gonna start turning this chat room the other way around on the other computer so I can only see it half the time. It is. I know you have to win. That's the only way you're not unless she's out signing books somewhere. You're only gonna get to meet her if you're there. If you win, you got to win. And no, people. Somebody asked me that the other day. Can I tell you where we are so you can book a hotel? They don't never tell me. Nope. I don't never know where the event's being held. You know when I find out where the event's being held? When Jody sends me my tickets and I arrive at the airport. That's when I find out. I mean, when Jody, I'm sorry. That's the way it works.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because they don't want no leaks. They don't want a bunch of crazies hanging out there. I can't blame them. I wouldn't want them either. Well, over the years, I mean, there's a lot of people interested in this. Yes, there is. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm throwing stuff on the floor now like I ain't got nothing better to do. So I was going to ask you this in the beginning, and I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
I know you've done a couple of these courses or classes, I should say. And are there always with Tim, or do you do them with somebody else? I've
No,
only
it's always been Tim. As a matter of fact, I think since early in the contest, maybe even
yeah,
since the beginning.
yes. Well, y'all
So
got good chemistry. That's why I was asking.
we've been friends for a long time, and it just seems that we clicked. So we're the Tim and Jody show, and I enjoy doing that a lot.
Yes. Well,
And
yeah,
yeah,
I enjoy watching it. So
oh, everybody has no. We don't always agree. We put our answers forward so that the people who are there, the winners and the guests, they can hear both sides of a question and they can make their own decision. He has different experiences than I do, and that's fair. They ought to know that there are plenty of perspectives in publishing, and they can have a lot of opportunities. So not every question has one single right answer.
I agree with that. Well, I mean, I've watched it now a couple of times. So I actually, first off, I actually enjoy watching it, and so does the class. I notice, because y'all have a good chemistry. Y'all actually they move around a lot too. Well, Tim Powers, he wrote Stranger Tides.
Yes,
Yes,
from Stranger
yeah,
Tides. He wrote The Drawing of the Dark. He wrote The Anubis Gates. He has
that's,
many, many books out there.
yeah. So there you go. So that's well, I know somebody just asked how you can find him. That's how you can find him. No, we're not going to get into all that. If we have him on, y'all can ask him that question. How's
Mhm.
that? We'll nip that right in the bud before we get started. Oh man, no, they have a great chemistry. They really do, and they have a class that runs good. It's a lot of fun to watch them. And my favorite thing is, I know I'm not supposed to talk about this, but my favorite thing is when they make them do this 24-hour story. So
Yep.
tell a little bit about this. I know y'all give them something, but to explain to the audience how this works, because this is good, guys. I get a
We
lot of good video on this.
we have a seminar, and Tim and I teach that. We talk about the business of writing. We talk about technique. We talk about how to focus. There are lots of parts that go into it, and then when we've primed them to try and be ready. We say, we're going to let you go at this time, and you have 24 hours to write a short story, and then you will come back 24 hours from the moment we release you, and you will have had to turn it in online so that it can be printed out for us. And some people are done very quickly, and other people are up for the whole 24 hours fretting and erasing and going back. And some of the stories are short-ish, 2,500 words maybe. I think that's the shortest we've had. But this year, one of the ladies produced a story that was 8,000 words in
Damn,
24 hours. It was
that's
amazing.
right. That's
Yeah,
serious.
I was very impressed. But
That's serious.
she focuses amazingly. So everybody is different. Everybody has time to go over their stories. Sometimes they check in with each other. We pair them off at the beginning of the class so that they have someone specific that they can talk to so no one feels left out. So we twin them. I have a button bag just like on Project Runway. And when you find the person who has your matching button, you twin up with them. And it's somebody that you can talk to, somebody that you can bounce ideas off of. A couple of the people I think are still friends from a result of having been paired off. So
Yeah,
I
there's definitely something.
I didn't come up with twinning them. I came up with the button bag, or rather, I adapted the button bag, and they get a prompt. Tim has a bag full of strange objects, which I have added to since the couple of years that I've been working with him, and we give them each one. And one year, he said that Dave Farland, my predecessor, gave somebody an ice cube,
Oh
and
shit.
he said study it fast because it won't be here later. And they're supposed to
Mhm.
either incorporate it into the story or be inspired by it. So there's been some very clever uses of it.
It's I know well, I like watching y'all do it, and it's guys, I'm telling you, we'll be sitting usually that on that particular day. A lot of times I'll be with one of the illustrators, and we'll be sitting at the bar, having a drink. Well, when we're at the Roosevelt, it's
Mm-hmm.
the way the it's set up, that the lobby set up, it's really easy to watch them. And I remember Tim grabbed me one day. He said, right after y'all did this, he said, "Man, go get some good pictures." And I did. I got some really good ones, because you'd see people's faces like like they're about to pop off, and then some of them are so relaxed, and it's so great to watch them. Um, and then some of them definitely pulling their hair out. If y'all are interested in these stories, when we have an author on, when we have a winner on, we actually always ask them, how did their 24-hour experience go? And you'll be amazed at what some of them say. I know one guy said, "Man, I wrote 3,000 words, got up in the morning, just tore up through the trash and started over." And I was like, "You're kidding me, right?" He said, "I
No,
only had like, yeah, yeah." I was like, and he said, "I only had a couple of hours left." And I was like, wow, damn, man. But like other people told me that, and then some people said they were writing and wake up at night and write some more, go to sleep, wake up. I was thinking, oh, Lord have mercy. But they take this serious. I gotta say, so far, and I can't, say all of them, but most of the authors I met took this pretty serious. They weren't, they weren't acting like, they weren't joking around. They were here to learn something, which I was really surprised because, after all, you did win something. You are going to a gala. I was just surprised how serious most of them took meeting all the judges, which was great, by the way. It's who are you
It's an
talking to?
opportunity of a lifetime. If they don't take it seriously, they are wasting a great opportunity.
They are, because it's just so much information there. Randy, who was that we were talking to that night? It was Dean Wesley Smith. We got into what's an S corp, what's a corporate. Well, he does all of his own stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
it was the first year I went, and I was talking to these three guys, and they were bugging the hell out of me. I said, well, you know what? I'm not an author, but he is. So I grabbed like 6 of them, 14, didn't even know it was coming. And we just went over there. And then for the next 2 to 3 hours, now this was at a barbecue, and he took his time, and we walked through it and
Mm-hmm.
explained what it was. And this is education you're not going to get anywhere, people, unless you're going to school, because
Right.
yeah, you can write it, but you still got to get it published, and you still got to know if you're getting ripped off when you're getting it published. And there's a lot of other stuff that goes into it besides that. And he was the guy who really knew about a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, all the judges have a niche, and they're all really good. I haven't met any I haven't liked yet. So, who you talking? You talking about Larry Nevin? No, I was his chaperone. No. Anyway, I was a chaperone. The first time I met Larry, he looked at me like I was the plague. I scared him. He's like, "Who is this guy following me around?" And then the next 2 years, I got to actually talk to him. Yeah, he was out there by himself, so they just put me as his chaperone at the gala to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great guy. Yes,
He is a
he,
sweet guy. He is
he's got tons of
really.
stories.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I
Oh,
love
okay. Well,
when, you ask him, say, what are you working on now? And then suddenly you have the whole thesis.
yes, I know, and you got to watch what you ask me. I got to be honest. Um, oh, okay. No, I'll ask her. Calm down, people. Calm down. So Ronnie wrote in, wants to know what's your favorite genre to write in. What is it that you feel most comfortable writing in?
Humor.
And we see that's a good thing right off the bat. What do you mean, Carl? Well, no, you mean for the awards, you can write sci-fi, fantasy,
Mm-hmm.
steampunk. You can go to the site. I mean, I don't know all of them, but you can go to writersoffuture.com, and they have all the stuff there. You could even take the course. Yeah, there's a free writers course there. Yes. Yes, I'm serious. There is.
And I
Yeah.
added a video this year in April about writing humor. So you can watch me talking to the camera about it in
Yeah.
the workshop that's available online.
See, there you go. You can go check that out. Well,
Mm-hmm.
no, when you're watching Dodie, when she's working with Tim, there's a good bit of humor in there. Oh yeah, they just have good chemistry. Even when they're not agreeing, they still have good chemistry. Well, because they're not disagreeing like I'm going to chop your head off or anything. It's they just like, no, I'm right. That's just how it is. No, they're great to watch. What's that, Carl? Well, you can write humor in anything. So he was just asking about writing, like writing humor in sci-fi or fantasy and stuff like that. But there's no limitations, right? You can write it in anything.
I do write humorous science fiction. I do write humorous fantasy. I also write straightforward. I write epic fantasy and straight science fiction. I wrote a couple of young adult science fiction books with an actual rocket scientist.
Oh, there
That
you go.
So I'm all over the place, but I love writing humor. So I have humorous space opera, humorous military science fiction, humorous contemporary fantasy,
Well,
and of
see,
course, myth adventures.
well, to me, nothing. Not I've always had this thing about it's not good sci-fi or good fantasy if there's not some humor in it, because in the end, I've been in some hairy, scary situations,
Hmm.
and somewhere in there, I'll have to crack a joke. I might be getting my head lopped off in the next 5 minutes, but still somewhere in there, and it just feels like that's how the real world is. I mean, you're out there, you're doing this, you're writing this, and you just, well, he's an idiot. We got to toss this in there because this is definitely going somewhere.
Well, you
It's
need some mood breakers anyway. You
yeah,
can't
it's
have
true.
all drama or all tragedy because people will go out of their minds. They'll just put the book down and say, "I can't go any farther with this." There are
Yeah,
usually funny moments or icebreakers in any serious story.
Carly, no, that's the problem I had with the new Oh hell, it's not even that new now. It's Battlestar Galactica. Yes, it was just too much drama and nothing else.
Yeah.
It was. Don't get me wrong. I thought the characters were great. It was just. I needed some stupidity in there somewhere.
Hmm.
That's just me. Okay, before y'all write to anybody, it's just me personally. But oh no, I know a lot of people who loved it. Yeah, and it wasn't bad. It's just I needed, Starbuck needed to crack a joke every once in a while. I mean, it was Starbuck after all. I mean, there should have been a joke in there somewhere. I mean, just one or two good ones. I'm sorry. Hey, Stoney, how you doing? I didn't see you come in the chat. Um, well, I don't know. Denise, where are you from? Oh, New York. Okay, I have been asking people where they were from tonight. Um, she was just asking if you have a preference between sci-fi or fantasy or anything like that, or sci-fi fantasy. Well, you can write sci-fi and fantasy together, goofies. I
Well,
can.
I talked with Lynn Abbey, who is a great writer in our field, and she writes mostly fantasy. And she said that the moment you introduce something impossible, it's no longer science fiction. Then it becomes fantasy. And I kind of stand by that. If you're going to introduce, say, ghosts or something for which you cannot provide even a make believe scientific explanation. So I like both. I have chosen this year so far 9, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. Stories that are going to be this year's winner for the volume 40 that's coming up, and there's both science fiction and fantasy in it, and I stand by my choices. I think that they're pretty good stories. Some of them are fantasy, some are science fiction. One of them is a dark fantasy, light horror,
Mm,
and it's a tremendous variety, and they are all very good.
yes. Before we get into the stories, guys, there's a couple of things. One, they have fairly strict rules on how you can turn in a story. No blood, no guts, no sex, no effing. Just I always tell people think of PG-13 is what I always tell people.
Yes, yeah, we have
And
young readers.
yes, and I have to tell y'all. So I've read now about 10 volumes, and I've enjoyed the stories. So I got hooked on it when John had sent me one before I was coming out. Actually, he sent me two before I was coming out the first time. Then I read them, and then I read them again on the plane. And I was like, man, they were good stories. And then year before last, I'm coming in, I'm reading the story. One of these stories I got hooked on. I said, this to me, because I'm thinking this is a nobody writing this story. As far as anybody knows, these are nobodies. I hate to say it that way, but they are. And the story's fun. It's enjoyable. It was thrilling, and yet there weren't even no explosions. I, I didn't know what to do with myself. I'm serious. I didn't know what to do with myself. Now, this one, book 39, which you can see right behind me in the bundle, it is actually on audio. So if you don't have the time to read, see, that's why I listen in my car because I got an hour drive back and forth to work every day. So I just pop a story in and listen, and that's why I've been listening to Mission Earth. It's no, I still got at least 2 weeks left on Mission Earth. It's a long, long thing. It takes an effort to do this one, but these are all good. Just as a matter of fact, if you want, these are from book 30 to book 39. It comes in this really pretty case, and they lowered the price because it's on the network by $60. I think it's 100 and a quarter, and you can take it. Well, no, that's cheap for 10 books. They sell them for more than that on the site. Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
consider it a gift from the network. Oh no, I would. Well, we're talking, but maybe later on we'll turn around just before Jody leaves. Maybe we'll turn around. But so, let me ask you this before we even start talking about these stories. So I did this yesterday. I was messing with Carmen or somebody. I said, I bet you there's more female illustrators than there are males this year. And see, I was right. So I'm curious about authors because most of the time there seems to be more male authors than females. And I'm just curious, is that how it is this year? Are we close?
I'd have to think about that. No, I think that there were nearly as many males as females.
Okay, so that's a good turnaround.
Yeah, stunningly clever, intelligent, funny, motivated.
Oh, I can't wait to read these. Oh
they
no,
are. They're tremendous.
yeah, no, I won't get to see him for a while yet, guys. No, Jody gets to see him now because she's the boss. But I will see them when the book is actually printed out. Yeah, I'll get a copy before I come into LA. Yeah, they'll send it to me to read.
Oh yeah.
Yes, yes, and oh no, I enjoy it. I mean, so far, so these 10 I've read, and actually I've read more than 10 because I read a couple, 4 or 5 that were in the middle of the 20s. I think it was like 23, 25, 26. I read those as well. Well, I wanted to make sure these weren't a fluke. No, I'm serious. That's what I do, guys. I'm an immediate. I wanted to make sure these weren't a fluke.
Mhm.
The stories were still good. They were great. Matter of fact, I just had a winner on just recently. I think it was in book 26 or 26 or 25. And it's just, they read just as well. The humor is just as good. The stories are good. I mean, everybody keeps talking about Death and the Tax Man from last year, which was a great story. I'm not hating on it or nothing. I enjoyed it. It was good artwork with it. I found some other stories in there I liked just as well, though. And but you know what? Jody's good. I can never pick. So 4 years I've tried to pick the winners of the authors, and not even close. Not even close. I don't know. And I thought, like last year, I seen the artwork. I said, this is going to win for sure. I mean, this is the best artwork on the table. And I was reading the stories, and I said, oh man, by far this one's going to win. Neither one even got close. I'm just, it's one of those things, guys. So I mean, so you got them in. So now we're done. We're done for this year. We're starting on book 41 for next year. And
Not
well,
quite.
not quite. Well, you know what I meant, but
Quite. For your writers out there, we have 2 days for you to submit
uh-oh.
last quarter of volume 40.
Oh,
I
that's
am
right. There's 12.
more
That's
stories
right.
and more illustrations. The submission window is still open until midnight on 1 minute to midnight on September 30th. And I hope people will send stories and illustrations in.
Oh, guys,
This
get out there.
submission window.
Yeah, see, y'all met the judge now. Hey, I seen you on TV the other night, Miss Jody. Great. It ain't
Please
gonna help you, but you can
send me
try.
stories.
You can try. No, somebody asked me that on a show a couple weeks ago. They said, Joe, can I send you something? You can give it to him? And you got it. I said, there's nothing I can do to help you win, guys. That's nothing I can
Just
do.
send it in. If it's good, it will stand.
Yes. And what's even better about this is, though, they actually help y'all. So this surprised me more than anything when I first found out about these guys. So, I said, okay, they get a winner time. Oh, you didn't win nothing. On your way. But then I got to talking with Joni one night, and Joni is like number 3 over there, I think. I don't know. So anyway, but she's not another whirlwind. She's like this one. Matter of fact, all of them are whirlwinds. We might as well just say that outright. And we got to talk, and I realized that it wasn't quite what I thought it was. And she said, oh, no, we give feedback. She said, sometimes we'll do an honorable mention, or sometimes, one of the judges will write back and say, maybe if you do this or keep plugging away or stuff like that. And I said, I've interviewed a lot of these contests over the years. That's why I was so skeptical about this one. And they don't do that. They're just like, well, you didn't win. Too bad. Adios, amigos. Don't let the dust hit you in the butt, and stuff like that. But that's not what they do here. So I was surprised. And the fact that she'll even call you sometimes outright instead of just sending you an impersonal letter is something else that's a little different. If you win or you get in the contest, then you'll get to meet Joni. Yes. Not Jody, Joni. I know it gets a little confusing sometimes.
Jody Labaki is the coordinator for the contest.
Yes. She's the evil one. No, she's very sweet. That's another one. I have no idea how she does what she does now. All these people, none of them, I have no idea. It's like watching Jody and Tim. They go. I mean, they're going. And last year was tough because there were longer days last year.
Yeah.
They worked the living hell out of y'all last year. And they did. John didn't tell you I got on his butt about it. I thought, John, what are you doing? No, because I couldn't get any interviews in because I started feeling guilty because everybody was just so busy. And, it's 11 o'clock at night. I didn't want to drag people in the hotel 11 to 1 and more. I know they got another busy schedule the next day. I did manage still to get in 8 or 9 interviews, but not what I would usually do. And I was like, well, because I felt guilty. I mean, the first night we did 4 and we didn't wrap up till almost 2:30, almost 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, I know these guys are getting up at 6 or 7 and boom, going all day long. So I didn't want to be the reason why their brains wasn't functioning. What's that, Harold? Yeah, she just said you got 2 days. Not quite 2 days, but Yeah. But you got a story laying around? Send it in. All I can tell you.
Send it. Send it. If it's finished and you're happy with it, send it.
Go to writersfuture.com, check out it, make sure it's inside the rules. But yeah, send it. Well, I know I've seen what you wrote for, so I know you're writing like PG-13, so I don't have to worry about you're not going to send nothing nasty in. But
Mm-hmm. If you
it's
have any F-bombs in it, take them out.
yes, no cursing, people. Well, no real cursing, like you. Yeah, you know how like they do on TV sometimes they'll say frack it or something. No, you can't. Just read rules and you know what I'm talking about. You don't have to worry about it. Oh, if you want to get this, damn. See, I hate getting old. My brain does not work like it used to. It's galaxypress.com. Writersofthefuture.com is where you submit. Galaxy Press is where you go get something from. Yes. Mm-hmm. If not, you can go over to the UPRN site. We have a link right to it. You can pop it and get it. Yes, if you buy something, listen, y'all. If y'all buy this book anytime in the near future, right on there, we love you, Maliva. So, guys, go ahead. Anyway, she's just somebody over there that works. She's another hard worker we know. Yes, there's nobody over there that don't work hard. No. And see, I'm over there, and if I stand still for 5 seconds, somebody finds me something to do, man. I'm like, damn, you can't even. I'm not kidding you. What's that? So, no, she said we got 9. So we got 9 now, right? We got them all lined up. They ready to go.
I have 9 winners, and this quarter 4 will furnish me with the last 3 to go into the book. So this is your chance.
Yes. Y'all better get in it. Oh no, I don't think she can tell y'all the names right now.
I can't tell you anything about them.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work that way.
Winners who have submitted stories and won know who they are.
Yes, they do, but y'all do. Well, no, because y'all don't need to know yet. It's not any fun if you do it like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm into all the mystique. They do look. So you win, okay, and there's a little mystique to that and some other stuff. Then they bring you out here, and they whirl you around with these judges. And let me tell you what, these aren't just everyday, ordinary judges. Some of these judges are big time. This isn't playtime. It's not like you going and meeting some guy who's got one book and he's sold, 500 and, this is not what this is. This is way different. Same thing for the illustrators. Oh, no, they got great judges for the illustrators too. So far, I've got to meet quite a few of the judges. Well, there's more than are actually there. So, but I've got to meet quite a few of them on both sides. And, I asked.
Some of them live in other countries. Some of them are too ill to travel.
Yes, and some of them have other things, running at the same time. What is that, Denise? River Jones. I don't know what you're talking about. What, a book called River Jones? So, first off, what does it have to do with what we're talking about? I'm confused. Oh, you want to submit a? Oh no, go ahead. Yeah, right. Right. I'm sorry. I mean what you were saying. No, that's the lady you got to impress right there. I got, like I said, I ain't got nothing to do with it. What do you mean? Well, they are blind, Judge. It's. Well, if Jody wants to explain it to you, she can. I've explained this to y'all 100 million freaking times.
Okay. Here's the deal. What I see, we have a kind of submission window, and I receive a story that has a title, and it also has a code number, which is just its inventory number.
Yeah.
That is all I see. You can be disqualified for putting your contact information on it because we don't want to know who you are until the end. So follow the instructions in the submission window. If that means going into your manuscript and taking out the header that has your name in it, do it. If you have your name, address, phone number, and email address, take it out. We can find you if we want to afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And all I see is the manuscript. I read it. I have a first reader, Carrie English, who goes through and she assesses it to make sure that it is something that is appropriate to the contest. We don't take essays. We don't take plays. We don't take poetry, just stories. Just science fiction and fantasy and light horror, speculative fiction stories. And I am very open to all sorts of ideas, all sorts of culture, historical future stories, off planet, on planet. thrill me. Give me a wonderful story.
Make her smile.
Make me smile. Make me understand your world. The first year that I was a judge, one of the winners was a young woman from the Philippines who wrote a story that was involved with Philippine mythology. And it was great. And strangely enough, it was in second person, which I normally consider to be kind of a gimmick. You know, you did this and you did that. But she pulled it off. She did it really well. And I don't have a particular prejudice against first or third person. Do it well and you'll carry it on. If you're going to write it in past or present tense, be consistent. You know, it's as simple as that. Make sure that we know where we are. Make sure that I understand what your science fiction or fantasy element is. So send me a good story and you may be a winner. That's all I can really tell you. When I'm reading the stories, I'm assessing them for quality. If something is a good enough story, it can receive an honorable mention. If it's a story that has a real spark to it and I'm just thrilled by it, it could be a silver honorable mention. Both of these are eligible to be resubmitted if you want to go farther. Then there are semifinalists, which are nearly finalist quality, but there's something about them that I could not put them forward for a reason. I had one that was phenomenally violent one year, and it was a really, really good story. And normally that would get deep sixed, but it was so well written, but the violence couldn't be taken out of it. So it received a semifinalist. I don't recommend sending me something violent just to see if you'll get a semifinalist. Normally, they get pushed.
Adios amigos, what it is.
Right. It has to be that good in order for me to jump for it.
Oh, we got a past winner in the chat room with us, Preston Dent. Hey, Preston. He won back a while back. Wait, now I'm losing my damn earbud. Sorry, guys. Preston, can you hear us? What year was it when you won? Oh, I don't know if he's still there or not. I'll see him in a minute. I'd have to look it up.
Okay.
It's hopefully you heard us.
I see him in the chat.
Yeah, he hasn't answered, so
okay.
Preston, if you know, let us know. I know you know, but let us know what year you won. He's he's a big fan of Writers of the Future. 2019.
Good. Okay.
Yeah. He had fun, huh? They need to get him back out there so he can enjoy himself and have some fun. It was nice. I mean, the first year I went, we were just getting through COVID and all, and everybody was still paranoid as all hell. Carolyn, I'm gonna be honest about this. I shouldn't even say this on the air. I'm kind of with the thing with COVID is I can't really worry about it because I do a lot of traveling, and if I'd have to kind of give up my life if that was the case. So second place, first quarter. All right, go Preston. It's not that I don't believe or anything. I got my shots and I travel and I've had COVID several times. It's just, I can't just stop what I do is what I'm trying to say. I know I got a friend of mine who got his mask and got everything on. He won't leave his house. And I'm like, dude, eventually you're going to run out of money, right? Sooner or later. Y'all don't even want to know. COVID cost me a lot of money, so we're not going to get into that tonight. We'll leave that for one of the news shows. But it's one of them things we got to deal with. It's part of life throws stuff at you, and you just got to deal with it and go on. So anyway, getting back to what we were talking about, getting out the Writers of the Future that was my first year out with them, and there was two groups that year because they had the year before because of COVID, and then the two were together. It was big. I mean, you're talking 48 winners. Maybe not quite 48, but there was a lot of winners there. Oh, yeah, I did. I got like 30-something interviews in on that.
I think there were 37 of them there. Some people make it, but wow, it was huge.
It was huge. And, the gala event is as good as any gala I've ever seen in Hollywood. Oh, no. I've been to other ones out there. It's fabulous. No, I'm sorry to say it's as good as any gala event out there. Everybody's decked to the nines. The women look fabulous. The men look good. Everybody's looking great. No, you can go see them. They're online on YouTube. They're actually on our site somewhere, but you can go on YouTube and watch them. Yeah, you can go see Miss Jody up on the podium looking all like, hey, baby, what's up? It's no, they what do you mean? Oh, no, they take it very serious. It's not a game. No. And there's a friend of mine. Her name is Emily. She would whack you over the head if you thought it was a game. I'm just telling you. We're not going to say who give you her last name, but that's another whirlwind. Just a lot of whirlwinds is all I can tell you. No, there's not all females. There's some guys out there too. Mm-hmm. No. What's that question you got there? Oh, well, we over on time. Well, Jody, can you stand there 15, 20 minutes?
Sure, I can do that.
Okay, we're gonna well, because we're over time. That's why I asked her. So what's that question?
What do you want to know? Ask a silly person, get a silly answer.
That's what I'm waiting to see. What this question is. This question's evolving. It's on my messenger thing. Let's see. Well, no, I'll ask. I mean, it's a legit question. It's kind of a weird question, but it's legit. So, this lady is Carolyn. I'm sorry, Lynn Morrison. Where are you from, Lynn? San Francisco. Well, that explains why you're weird. She said, if somebody put you in a corner and said you could only write one genre, which one would it be?
Me?
Ooh, yeah, you. So which one would it be?
Not fair question. It isn't.
Yes.
I write both. I write anything. So I have a lot of fun with it.
Yes. See, you can't hold somebody down once they get to writing. It doesn't work that way. Well, yeah, I mean, if some demon came in her head or some alien came in her head and said, okay, you can only write sci-fi, that's different. No, that's stupid.
I'll let you know when the alien lands.
Yes. Oh, no, we're not going there either. It's politics, people. Even though it's an alien politic, it's still politics. We ain't going there. Who? Oh, no, okay. No, we had talked about this on the last show, but I'll ask her real quick. So when you first met Anne McCaffrey, and by the way, Denise, you should know better. You're not supposed to ask a woman's age. They were asking how old were you when you met her, approximately. Approximately.
Let me see. I think Anne was 59. So, yeah, she was wonderful. She was so nice to me. I couldn't get over it. I was so scared to meet her because she was, of course, a goddess of literature.
Yes, by then she was a legend. I mean,
My husband's company had published the Dragon Riders of Pern role-play game.
Mm-hmm.
So Todd, her son, had interned at the company. And when he came up with this project that would involve choose your own adventures and licensing known worlds, Pern was one of them. So he approached Anne, and it took a while for her to say yes, but then she did say yes. So I said, me, I want to do it. I have a background in gaming. I started playing Dungeons and Dragons when I was 19. So I had to introduce Anne to the concept of role-play gaming at this convention. So I was very nervous, but she was so gracious and so warm. And yeah.
Well, I mean, I've met Todd. Well, Todd and I have talked several times, and he's as nuts as I am.
Annex in Salt Lake City.
Yeah, because he's as nuts as I am. So it's y'all would love Todd McCaffrey. He's a lot of fun. He's a lot of fun. So, what do you mean? I'm not going to tell you where he lives. I don't know where he lives. I know what city he lives in, but that's all I know. And I know he lives with another friend of mine. So, yes. I'm not telling y'all. Oh, what is it with this crowd tonight? Y'all are just getting weird.
Preston's asking in the chat, what's the ideal length of a story to win? That varies hugely. We have had stories that go all the way to the limit. And one of them, Darcy Stone's, went over the limit after it was edited. And we've had short-ish stories in the 4,000 range. We now actually take flash fiction. So if you have a wonderful flash or a really short story, you can do that. But if you're going to the 17,000 word limit, it had better be worth my while.
Yes, I'm with you on that.
Yeah,
that's a lot of reading for her, man.
It has to make me so compelled to read. But I suppose the sweet spot for any story, for a single question that needs to be answered, single goal that needs to be achieved, 6,000 to 9,000 words.
That's a reasonable amount of words.
Yeah.
You mean how long is a novel? How long is a novella? I have no idea. Ask Jody. I don't know.
Okay. The average adult novel, meaning grown up, not sex oriented, is about 90,000 words these days. A novella is, well, the writers of the future accept short stories and novellas anywhere from flash fiction to 17,000 words, which is just about the top end of the novella. Then there's novelette, which goes from 17,000 words to about 40. And then after that, it's considered a novel. So there's 4 categories, but we only take 2 of them at the contest. Yes. And you have 2 days.
2 days, people submit.
Big deal, volume 40.
I was getting ready to tell Preston to submit, but I forgot he's already won, so he can't submit. But
he's a winner. I think he's being really nice.
Yes. Well, Preston's a great guy. I've been knowing him a long time. He's a really nice guy. It's what was that, Carolyn? You just on the fire tonight with these crazy questions. I mean, did your daddy like kick you in the head or something? No, because usually you're all so quiet and sweet in the chat. Tonight it's just like, who? Oh no! That's something entirely different. Wrong Jody. You got the wrong Jody. Yes. No, sorry. Okay, let's scroll.
I used to have people mistake me for Jody Lee, who is an illustrator.
And that's I had seen. Yes, I see it, Mark. Yeah, I was going to ask earlier because John and I talk about this a lot. So I noticed with the illustrators, the age tends to be a little bit younger. Actually, quite a bit younger. And so for me, and this is, and Jody's done this far more than I have. So if you think it's different, go ahead and correct me. It's we had put the average of an author that was submitting somewhere in maybe their mid to late 30s because of the ones we met. But that's only the ones I've met for the last 4 years. You've been doing this longer than I have. So that's why I was curious.
Not that much longer. I started in 2016.
Oh, okay. But that's still long enough.
Yeah. Our youngest writer winner was 15 years old.
Yeah. No.
When they won. And our oldest was this year's grand prize winner. He was 68 and is now 69.
He's 69.
So anywhere in between.
Yes.
It does tend to be more represented toward adults who are now established in some field because you have to have the leisure to write. And that means having a job that allows you to do that. Even if that means that you write during your lunch hour or you get up early or after you send the kids to school or after they go to bed. So,
very true. Well, who was it? It was one of the female writers. I was talking to her, was it last year before? And she was talking about putting her kids down and sitting down and writing, or, having the kids over at grandma's and sitting down and writing. Mm-hmm. Well, when you got 4 kids, guys, it can't be real easy to write. I mean, I got 2 chihuahuas and it's hard. I mean, they constantly want my time. I'm surprised they ain't in here right now going, Daddy, you've been on the air a long time. It's time to pick us up, man. What's going on? No, I'm not kidding.
Circling around me this whole time.
Yes. Oh, my little black one. If it was a regular air night, usually about an hour into the show, she'll come jump in my lap, and then she wants to get on my shoulder. It's funny because she's black, and when I'm wearing a black shirt. So one night she's laid up here. She's passed out on my shoulder. We're just talking. And when she opens her eyes, they're just bright white against the black. A couple people are like, what the hell? Do you have a deep? They were just flipping out. I said, people, it's my dog. And I said, she was sound asleep because, she just kind of turned her eyes sideways and just cut and it looked like she was stuck into my shirt. I'm like, no, it's my dog, people. And I mean, when I say she's black, we still do it. And we put glow in the dark shirts on her at night because you can't see the little hussy. I mean, with all the lights out of the house, you can't see her. She is just black. 2 more questions. Y'all got 8 more minutes. So what do y'all got? Oh, can you send her cake to help with the judges? She just told you it was blind judged. So would you, I guess, on the bottom of your story, cake attached? Is that what you're talking about?
Guess what? I don't really like cake that much. So.
I see you're already in trouble. I would have said the same thing. What do you mean, me? No, you can't afford what I want, so just don't you worry about it. Ice cream. No, I'm on a diet. I don't want nothing that looks like sweets. Well, no, I mean, you can write whatever you want to write. It just has to be within the parameters of what Writers of the Future's rules are.
The rules are hard. Read them.
Yeah, and they are on writersoffuture.com. This is the one. Now you've been listening to her talking. You can go back and listen to. We've done a longer interview. It's about 2.5 hours. You can go back and listen to all the stuff we talked about, and we got in some deep conversations about some of the stuff she's done, some of the stuff she's written. If you really want to know about it, that's the interview to listen to. But no, tonight we're just really talking because we want people to know that it's the 40th anniversary for Writers of the Future. Miss Jody's going to be there. I'll be there, and then well, there'll be a bunch of people going to be there. But 2 days you can see. I didn't know y'all could still submit. That's why Carmen wanted to do it last night. Okay, now I didn't understand why he was in such a hurry. 2 days submit. No, I want 10% of all winnings. Yes, 10%. I'll give Jody 5%. We'll split it. Not just kidding, y'all. No, if you want to make a donation to the network, feel free. You can go on the UPRN site and make a network. We always appreciate any donations. Again, you have to know if you're illustrated 2 days. It's the same thing. Everything is the same except one's illustration and one's writing. And actually, the authors came first, didn't they? And then the illustrators came a couple of years later, if I remember right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, L. Ron Hubbard set it up as Writers of the Future so that it's basically paying back. They use that word so many times. I want to start slapping people when I'm there. They do. They're serious about it. No. They're serious about it. You know, you can tell when someone's saying something and they're just saying it because they're supposed to, and you can tell when they say something that they actually mean. So if you're talking to a judge or anybody who works there and you hear them talking about paying back, they mean it legitly. They're not because they're successful now and they have a better life and they can help you. I'm telling y'all could listen to Jody for 2 days and probably step up your writing quite a bit. I know you can because I've done later interviews with people like 2 years from before or a year before, and they'll tell me where they are right now. Several of them are actually doing quite well. I'm surprised. I can't say all of them are, but a lot
Some
of
of our
them
judges are past writers, with past winners.
Yeah, isn't Dean the past winner? Was he like the first one?
Winner? Yeah, he was the first person to step out on the stage as a winner. Nina Kariki Hoffman is a past winner. Nettie Okrafor, I think.
Yes.
Sanderson. They all entered the contest. Eric Flint, who passed away January, I think, he was also a winner, and it started a new career for him. He used to work in the trades. He was an engineer.
See, yeah, people. Well, that's one of the winners this year. He was was something in the Air Force. I think he was an engineer in the Air Force or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a writer now. Actually writes pretty decent. No, don't. When you hear me say somebody writes decent, you might want to look at it, but you want to see something what Jody says versus anything I say first. No, trust me on this. I know. See, now I'm lucky now because when I first started messing with these people, I had no idea what any of these terms meant. I was like, what are they talking? It's like speaking Greek, man. Now I'm actually understand what they're all talking about. Now, but I'm not a legit author. I'm just someone on the sideline watching. And so I can give you advice, but you'd be wasting your time when you have such good people to get advice from. Well, you can write to any of them. All of them, you can get their emails anyway. Matter of fact, you can go on writersoffuture.com and look at all the past and present judges. They're all there. All of them are there.
They're actually all listed on the back of any book.
Yeah. Oh, and see, I didn't even realize that. And you're going to be quite impressed with the list of judges. I could sit here all night and go, yes, Dean, they had Orson Scott Card who wrote Ender's Game, and there's a bunch of other ones besides that. They got the people from Dune there. I mean, we're talking, they got some serious sci-fi people, and they got a lot of other people from fantasy and stuff. There's a lot of big writers there. Personally, Dean Wesley, I have no idea how he does it. The man got more books than he just, I don't know how he does it. I've asked him a million times. He just, I just write. I hate when he tells me stuff like that.
It's incredible.
He is just like a writing machine. The only other person I've ever met like that is Nick Redfern. He writes a lot. Preston writes quite a bit too, though. I don't know how they do it. And Nick tells me he writes 9 to 5. He gets up on Monday, 9 to 5. I'm like, I can write when it gets in my head. I can be honest with you, I can't even write when I'm at home. There's too much stuff going on. And then I always get sidetracked, start playing with something with the radio station or work or something. And then my whole flow or whatever I was thinking about goes, I said, I don't know how y'all do it. I mean, do you have to be somewhere quiet to do it? Or can you do you see? That's why I was asking, because I would be throwing stuff at people.
If you talk to Kevin Anderson, he has to have a playlist. He's always got music going when he's writing, and he talks to a tape recorder instead of mostly doing it on the keyboard. Everybody's different. I need quiet. I can compose either on paper or on my keyboard. Some people are still writing longhand. My friend David Drake still sits and writes things out on a pad and then transcribes it. So whatever works for you, whatever gets the words out of your head and onto a page is valid.
I would write it on paper, but 6 months from now, I wouldn't know what the hell it said. There's no reason to do that.
Oh, my handwriting is terrible, which is funny because I'm a professional calligrapher too.
Oh,
But but I learned a long time ago to print really fast. So my if I want to be able to read it later, I can block print very quickly.
Yeah, if I want to read it, I'm gonna have to write it in print. And yes, Jackie, I did hear that they're gonna stop teaching script in school. They're saying it doesn't exist anymore. There's no need for it anymore. I'm like, what? I don't know any schools that's actually done it, but I did read 3 or 4 articles on it. They said that because of the computer age, it's not needed. I actually still use it. Okay. I don't, granted, I don't use it as much as I used to, but I do still use it. And for me, it's kind of like a shorthand when I write in script. It's just, I could go faster. Printing just takes me too long. I mean, there's some things I have to print because of my handwriting, but I don't know, people. I think it's
people's signatures going to look like if they don't teach cursive?
I know. I just don't understand why you would get rid of that. I know, yes, I agree that we don't use it as much, but I still think it's something that we should have. I don't want to sign my signature. No, because if you print your signature, then anybody can print your damn signature. Yeah, my bank wouldn't go for that anyway. They get mad at me because I never sign my signature the same way. They'll call me from time to time. I'll be traveling. Joe, is that you? Are you on the road? Yeah, I'm on the road. They learned their lesson because the very first time they ever did that, they turned my card off. Actually, turned 3 cards off.
I know.
And I went to go get gas, and it went denied. I'm like, excuse me? Because I knew how much money was in there. I was like, wait a minute now. I called them. Oh, we thought somebody stole it. And then they tell me, well, we can't turn them back on because they were deactivated. I said, well, I'm in the middle of Arizona. You better figure out how you're going to get me some money. I said, because I'm on my way to L.A., and I said, I'm going to need money when I'm there. We need money when I'm coming back. Oh, well, we can get your card shipped to wherever you're at. That doesn't help me between there and here, though, does it? And so they sent me, they overnighted me. They paid for me a room somewhere, and then they overnighted me a bunch of traveler's checks. And I was like,
years.
I was going to say, I haven't used a traveler's check since I was in the Navy. That was the last time I'd used it. When he sent me, I'm like, what? Took me a minute to even realize what the hell they were. I was like, what are you going to do? And now at least they call me first, though. They'll say, because my wife and I were having dinner somewhere one night, and I got home and I was going to buy something online, and my card got declined. I'm like, what? So I go on the bank, and it's $5,000 out of my account. All right, Denise, one question and we're out of here. One question. What is it? Come on. I see you got your hand up. You want to ask a question. Work it out. Work it out. Work it out. Oh, well, no, I'll ask her. So she's just asking, did you ever consider writing a book with Todd? You're talking about Todd McCaffrey, right? Is that who you're talking about? Yeah, that's okay. I'm just making sure.
The opportunity has not really arisen, and he's doing quite a lot on his own. I'm doing quite a lot on my own.
Besides, Todd's crazy. I didn't say that, but he is.
He was at FanX in Salt Lake City. We were just there last weekend.
Yeah.
He had a 7 or 8 book young adult series that he was selling, and copies of Dragon Writer and Dragon Holder. So he had quite a number of his own books. So good for him.
Yeah. Well, that's good. He does right. I was talking with Jeffrey Weiner about him not too long ago, and because we were doing AI. Oh, I wanted to ask you about that anyway. By the way, guys, before I ask her this question, you cannot submit AI to Writers of the Future. You will be instantly disqualified. I'm sorry, but there's no AI, and if they think it's AI, they're going to ask you how the book came about being. So I'm just warning you ahead of time. No AI. Now, illustrators, that goes for you too. Well,
you're just shooting yourself.
Yeah, you are. You really are. Well, it all came about. I don't know. I know Jeffrey talked to me about this about 2 years ago. The first thing I did was call John Goodman, and say, John, how y'all dealing with this? Because it's cheating.
It is cheating, and it's appalling because it's actually stealing from other people's work.
It is.
AI isn't creating anything new; it's scraping from other people's works, both illustration and literature.
So I just wanted to warn you. But anyway, one well, no, I know we were going to answer the question about AI, but we just talked about it. So there's no reason to ask the question. Well, I'm sorry. I mean,
We've had a few that we've identified. They're awful.
They
Almost
are.
all.
Well, somebody sent me. The reason we brought this up, guys, is I had Jeff Weiner on the show. Y'all go look at this when it's up there, and he decided he wanted to show me because this was the first I had really heard about this. I was a baby. He was introducing it to me, so he did a comic book on air. So he typed in what he wanted the story about, and it wrote the story. But not only did it write the story, it made the little balloons and made the little cartoons. It did everything. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking this is it just hacked me off, is what it did. I'm not going to lie. So I'm reading through it, and it was half okay. I mean, it's not something you would try to sell somewhere. You might want to try to give it to somebody, but it's not something you'd want to try to sell somewhere. But the fact that it did it, and it did it so fast, just made me really nervous. I didn't like it. I didn't like how fast it did the artwork. Well, I asked him to make me a banner, a UFO banner for one of the shows. Did it in like 8 seconds. Yeah, mm-hmm. And it did it. The banner's great. I'm not going to lie. It's a great banner. But I can't copyright it.
Nope. It's not copyrightable. The Supreme Court has ruled on that.
So you can't copyright. Yeah, even if you make money, you can make money on AI. You just can't copyright it. So if somebody comes in and wants to take your story or take your artwork, they can. It's nothing you can do about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you cheat. I'm just telling you right up front. That's what happens when you cheat. So y'all got 2 days. Get your story. Not quite 2 days. We'll say 18 hours. No, about 20 something hours. Y'all got. Put your story in. Put your artwork in. No, Miss Jody, don't do the art. That's another judge.
Nope, that's Echo Chernick, who was a wonderful person.
Yes, we're not going to talk about Echo because she is evil.
She'd probably laugh if you said that.
No, Echo and I, we've become friends over the last 4 years. So it's I met her husband Lazarus the year before last. Mm-hmm. And so he's a good guy too. We've hung out together. Oh no, Echo's great. She's a good judge. She's fair. She's tough though. She's going to tell you what it is. It's one of the things I like. Is Jody's the same way. She's going to tell you that look, and really, what gets me is when I see one of these youngsters, and they're not all actually young, but you're going to argue with somebody who's been writing. Well, I don't know. First off, probably 10 or 20 years longer than you have been. And actually has, been around with it, working and making money and hanging out with some of the greatest writers around. But you're going to think you're better. That just irritates me to no end. Well, people, come on. It's like the guy the other day, somebody wrote to me and asked me if I'd come to a thing about being a guest on radio shows. I'm like, really? Yeah, it's a course. And then they said, we'll even teach you how to run your own podcast.
Oh, how marvelous.
I just started laughing.
Suck eggs too.
I know. So, I'm thinking to myself, I wrote back really nice and said, really? I said, you got my name there, right? And they're like, Guy Rich, yeah. Well, let us get you in a course. I said, why don't you type my name in before you ask me again? Then he comes back, he goes, oh shit, you on a radio station. I said, mm-hmm. And I said, I've been guesting for 30 years, man. I think I might know just a little bit about it. So then he goes, oh, you should come be a guest to help us teach these people. I'm like, I don't do that kind of stuff for free. I'm sorry. That was just too funny.
There's a truth in my adopted homeland, and I know it's the same in New Orleans. Bless their hearts.
Oh, yes. No, Carly, I'm actually tonight I'm actually in Bay St. where am I tonight? Pass Christian, Mississippi is where I'm at tonight. But no, I'm usually in the city. Mm-hmm. I love my city. Yes, it's an insane, crazy place. It's a great place to visit, and I'll tell everybody the same thing. Come down, have fun, don't come alone, and don't wander neighborhoods that you shouldn't be wandering in. Yes, down here you can kind of tell where you shouldn't be. Yeah, I'm just telling you ahead of time. And if you don't know, ask around. I usually, when friends come down, I'll take them out like the first night or two to give them an idea, and then I just let them loose and let them have fun, because they want to get out and get in real trouble, so I don't want to be there when they do. So I just let them out. No, I just tell them where not to go and where to go. But we always tell you, travel with at least 3 people. 2 minimum. Don't go by yourself anywhere. It doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl. Don't wander through the side streets of the quarter by yourself. No, because right off the bat, they're going to know you're a tourist, because locals never walk around by themselves. And so right off the bat, they're going to know you're a tourist. No, locals never go by themselves. And usually locals dress a little different. They dress for the French Quarter, so they'll usually be in jeans and a T-shirt, or jeans and a comfortable shirt. Tourists tend to overdress for it. So right off the bat, they know you're a tourist. Be comfortable. There's a lot of walking going on, a lot of sweating going on. Get comfortable. But I will tell you this, at the if you want to watch people write, right in front of the St. Louis Cathedral, right where they do the card readings at night, they have people who go sit there and write. They even have people who sit there who will write you a story in like an hour that you can buy from it. If you like it. But yeah, it's different, and strange.
Indeed, I like that.
Yes, but it's one of those things.
I have been in Jackson Square. The artists, the dancers,
Yes,
all sorts of people.
and if you can get down for the Chefs Festival, oh my God. So they take all the big chefs, all the great chefs from probably 100 restaurants, put them in Jackson Square. It's $1 a taste. You can easily spend $100 walking around. A lot of times they give you 2 or 3 tastes at the same time. I'm telling you, people, the food is freaking fabulous. By the time you make it around the square, you're like, God, I got to sit down. I got to find my car. I need a ride back to my car. No, it's a great thing. There's a lot of festivals, and just be careful. Again, Voodoo Festival's fun if you want to go hang out in the middle of the night and for all that stuff. It's all great. Yeah. I'm too old for things like that, people know. Y'all want to go hang out at Voodoo Fest for 2 weeks in the middle of mud and rain? No, have fun. I'm not going. It's like going to Burning Man in the middle of the rain. I'm not going there either. Yeah. All right. We got to go, guys. Jody, you've been fabulous as always. Anything you want to tell them before we get out of here? No, she can't tell you who the 9 people are. I just told y'all that.
I'm just not going to. But I will say that I am currently reading for the Writers of the Future, Volume 40, big 40th anniversary. If you have 2 days left. If you had a story you were working on, now's the time. But if you missed the deadline, you're submitting for Volume 41, first quarter. And I have to say that there's opportunities in being in the first quarter that there aren't in the others, because it's wide open. I haven't selected any of the other subgenres. If this is the time that you're going to put in your spaceship story, your werewolf story, your vampire story, your elves and fairies in space story, you have a better chance of having that genre picked up than you do in later months when I might already have chosen one of those. But in the meantime, please submit. I'm always looking for new voices.
Hey, yeah, submit, guys. Well, I'm going to tell you a little secret. I hear there's going to be some extra stuff at this one this year. Mm-hmm. Yes, because it's the 40th anniversary. Yes, I've heard some secrets. I can't tell y'all, but I've heard some secrets. They don't tell me anything. I'm just screwing with you. No, I did hear there going to be some extra stuff this year, but they don't tell me anything now. Well, of course, I don't ask, but they ain't going to tell me anyway. No, because they're scared I might tell y'all. That's why. No, we got to get out of here, people. We have work, Miss Jody. She needs to get some rest. She's still recovering them stupid shots that we all got to get. What was it, Denise? I tell everybody the same thing when it comes to the vaccines. If you're comfortable with it, get it. If you're not, don't. I can't tell you anything else. I've got 2 myself. My wife's got 3, 4. What do you mean, the X? Yeah, well, that's what we're talking about. I don't know. A lot of people. No, my son actually has got 1, but he's young, and no, actually he's gotten 2. I'm sorry, I lied. Most of the people I know has got at least 2. I know it's anywhere from 2 to 6 shots. I know what's going on, right? It just depends who you are, where you're at, and how vulnerable you are, and what part of your age group you're in. Yeah, so do what you think is best for you. That's all I can tell you. Because I'm going to do what I think is best for me. My name is Jody's going to do what's best for her. And if you're a winner, be vaccinated before you come out, because, there's a lot of people. Well, I've been vaccinated. I still got it. Doesn't matter. But if you vaccinate, you're just not going to get as bad. There's a lot of people And there's a lot of people you're going to be messing with. You're going to be shaking a lot of hands. I'm really bad, so I got to watch. I've been hugging everybody up. So, well, I don't get to see them. I miss them when I don't get to see them. I miss all of them. They're all like family to me now. But submit tonight. When put something really good in, something that's like, oh man, what is this? I want to see next time I talk to Jenny. I want to see. I want to go, oh my God, where'd this story come from?
You have all day tomorrow, all day the next day, and then you're quarter one.
Yes, and you just heard us talking about some people wrote 4, 5, 6,000 words in 24 hours. So get out there and do it. What do you mean? Wait. You want to buy a story and submit it? That's not going to work. I guess if they didn't know, but that just, well, why would you do that? I mean, have you written anything before? See, I don't understand that. Anyway, y'all have a good night because I don't know, that just kind of irked me for some reason. We got to go, guys. Thanks for everyone tuning in tonight. Remember, be sure y'all are checking out the Outer Realm with the fabulous Michelle DeRoche and the Emilius Pisano. They are going to town tonight. They're always doing an excellent show. Yes, Michelle is the boss. Yes, she's the manager. Mm-hmm. Yes, she's my boss. It don't matter I own the station. She's still the boss. Oh, no, she's the boss. Anyway, y'all find out. If you become part of the station, you'll find out. So don't worry about it. Guys and girls, I want to thank everyone for hanging out with us tonight. Preston, nice seeing you in the chat. Christopher and all y'all, I'm glad to see y'all came by and hung out in the messengers, even though y'all were a little weird tonight. You can look Jody up if you want to email her. And, yeah, she's easy to find. And on that note, we got to go. Thanks for everyone hanging out, tuning in to United Public Radio and the I was going to say UF on the cover at the Joe Montaldo Show. The name of the show will be changing. I know somebody asked me this earlier. I don't know. There's a big debate on what it's going to. It's only going to be for authors and illustrators. So I don't know. They're trying to find something fancy dancy to name it. I'm not getting involved with it. I'll be hosting part of it, but I'll be one of the 3 hosts. Yes. Well, the other 2 hosts will actually be authors. Yeah, so it'll make it easier on the authors that are coming on. Well, real quick, so we can go. It's easier when we have other authors on because they're always going to ask because they're authors. So they can always be sure they're asking the authors the same question. They got something in common. No, I'm a host. No, I'm a radio station owner, general contractor, and radio station host. Yes, that's what I do. And I work in a lot of the media. But I am not an author. Even though I'm writing a book, I can write this whole thing. Even if it turns out good, I still won't be an author. There's something to being an author. That's all I can tell you, and it's not me. On that note, guys and girls, thanks for tuning in again to United Public Radio and the Joe Montaldo Show. I hope everyone has a fabulous evening. Be sure to go check out Michelle and Amelia and tell them hi on the Outer Room. And until next week, have some fun and stay out of trouble.